Sometimes karma doesn't just knock, it shows up with receipts. This is the story of Jennifer, a Jamaican woman who fell in love, left everything behind for a fresh start in America, only to be betrayed, trapped, and abused. But the same man who tried to hold her hostage with paperwork had his whole world turned upside down. This is green card karma. Jennifer Brown had never been in a rush to leave Jamaica. She had a good job teaching grade 5 at a school in Spanish Town. Her mother, Ms. Enid, sold fruits in the market. Her younger sister, Shanika, was finishing up 6th form. Then came Anthony Rowe, a man visiting from the U.S., tall, dark, and well put together, as the older women would say. He wasn't loud like the other diaspora men. He was polite, calm, drove a rented SUV, and always smelled good. He said he was looking for a real woman, not like the spoiled girls in the U.S. After a few visits, dinners, and gift packages, Jennifer found herself falling. They dated long distance for 6 months before he came back with a ring. It felt like love. It felt like purpose. But not all that glitters is America. They got married. In a quiet garden ceremony, Jennifer wore a simple white dress, her sister cried, and Anthony promised to take care of her forever. Within a few months, he filed for her to join him in New Jersey on a spousal visa. Jennifer arrived with nothing but 2 suitcases, her teaching certificates, and hope. At first, things seemed okay. The apartment was small but clean. Anthony took her shopping for a winter coat. He introduced her to his aunt, Miss Pauline, a loud but kind woman who ran a daycare out of her home. But then, things changed. Within 2 weeks, Anthony's tone shifted. He became cold, controlling. "You not in Jamaica anymore," he said. "This my house. You don't move unless I say." He locked away her passport, took her phone when she got too chatty, said she couldn't work even though she had a valid permit. "Focus on being a wife," he snapped. Soon after, the verbal abuse began. He called her slow, green, and too emotional. Sometimes he'd throw things during arguments. One night, he pushed her so hard she hit her head on the cupboard handle. When she begged him to finish filing her green card adjustment forms, he scoffed. "Why should I? You ungrateful. I bring you here. I can send you back." She was trapped, legally, financially, emotionally. No friends, no money, no status. Anthony cut her off from her family. He said international calls were too expensive, but still sent money to a woman in Brooklyn named Alicia, who he swore was just a friend. Melissa knew better. He told his co-workers at the auto body shop that Jennifer was lazy and using him. She overheard his aunt, Miss Pauline, telling someone on the phone, "Me did tell him don't marry no country woman. Dem only want papers." Even when Jennifer tried to explain to Miss Pauline, the older woman cut her off. "Fix your marriage, Jennifer. Stop run to people with ya drama." She was utterly alone, except for one quiet voice. Daniel, a shy Guyanese maintenance man who worked in their apartment complex. Daniel noticed her bruises one morning when she was taking out the trash. "You good?" he asked gently. She didn't answer, just looked down. He gave her a flyer a few days later. "Immigrant Women's Resource Center. Free help. No papers needed." That flyer became Jennifer Escape Route. She used the neighbor's Wi-Fi to send an email. A woman named Janet, a Caribbean-American counselor, called her the next day. Jennifer started sneaking out for sessions while Anthony was at work. Janet helped her collect documents, photos of bruises, Anthony's messages, and even voice recordings of him threatening to cancel her whole future. That's when Janet mentioned VAWA, a U.S. immigration relief program for abused spouses, and that changed everything. Jennifer stayed silent, patient, calculated. She filed under VAWA with help from a volunteer lawyer. Daniel helped print forms. Janet wrote a professional affidavit. Even Miss Pauline's neighbor, Ms. Chow, testified. to hearing terrible shouting matches through the walls. When her work permit was approved, Jennifer didn't wait. She packed while Anthony was gone and left with only a backpack and a prayer. She moved into a group home for immigrant survivors. She got a job cleaning offices, then as a home health aide. She started therapy. Slowly, painfully, she began healing. Months passed. One evening, Janet called her, laughing hard. "Girl, you will not believe who's in the news." Anthony's name was on a federal fraud report. Turns out he'd never properly divorced his first American wife and had tried to file marriage papers for a third woman, Alicia, while Jennifer was still legally his wife. USCIS flagged him. He was charged with marriage fraud, immigration obstruction, and, after Melissa's VAWA petition and police reports surfaced, domestic violence. His green card was revoked, and he was ordered deported. He tried to appeal. Failed. He begged Jennifer to reconsider, sent voice notes begging for forgiveness. She never replied. 1 year later, Jennifer stood on a small stage at a community center in Queens, speaking to a room full of immigrant women. "I was once like you," she said, voice steady. "Scared, alone, powerless. But now I help others find their voice." She was pursuing her social work degree, working full-time and sharing her story with others. As for Anthony, last anyone heard, he was back in Jamaica, broke, bitter, and blaming everyone but himself. And Jennifer, she didn't just survive, she won. If this story moved you, share it. Comment, "Karma never misses," if you believe in justice. And remember, no one should suffer in silence. Help is out there. Hope is real. And revenge, well, sometimes it comes with a visa stamp.